Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Wayne's World Garage. Today, Phil and I drove up to Mount Airey, Maryland to check out Fricknjeeps sawmills. He's got 2 sawmills. How many people have got 2? These are absolute museum pieces. There's certainly the Model 01, the Yacht 1, I think that's what they call it, that he's building, is a work of art. It's gorgeous. So this is just a little bit of the video we took and some of the things we learned from John. And John, thank you so much for your hospitality. If you guys like this, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and all that good stuff. Okay, to get started, John is powering this Model Yacht 1 with a GM diesel, aka Detroit diesel, Model 671. 6-cylinder, inline 6, 71 cubic inches per cylinder. Puts out about 600 foot-pounds of torque, and I believe it's in the range of 160, 170 horsepower, something like that. Weighs 2,300 pounds if you want to just put one in your Prius. Now, it looks to me like John actually washes this and waxes it after each use. Or certainly he cleaned it up real nicely, but it looks great, and boy does it start nicely. So part of our goal coming out here today, other than to give John some of my wife's brownies, is to learn about the sawmills, learn about setting these guys up, and see how he's restored his so well. So this is really the teacher, John, giving lessons to Phil and I on how to get these sawmills cutting straight, because we're working hard to get ours cutting it straight. So I'll have some voiceovers, but quite a bit of this will be John talking to us and us talking to him. So that's the way it goes. So one of the things to pay attention to right away is the entire tracks are on a concrete foundation. 18-inch holes go 36 inches into the ground. Additionally, there is 8 sets of knees. The knees are the black things, and that's what holds logs forward and moves logs onto the carriage. 8 sets of knees. This will handle 40-foot logs. The log turners that we're whizzing right by are not quite hooked up yet. So probably the first thing we noticed, he has 8 sets of knees on this carriage. These knees are tight. There's hardly any slop to them, left or right, or up or down. They're heavy, they probably weigh 400 pounds each, but they're secured very well, and he's gone to the effort of rebushing them and shimming them properly so that they don't move at all. They look like brand new, and of course he painted them all up. I'm surprised you didn't get them chrome plated.
Now, did you say that there's a detent on this? There is on yours, right? There's rollers, a detent.
I didn't. I made all that.
You made that to go to neutral.
Yeah.
So it didn't come with a factory with a detent,
No,
did it?
It came with a spring. I can show you on another one the spring that's on there. Yeah. It goes to neutral.
It goes to neutral, yeah.
I see so many of them.
And so what model is this?
This is number 1.
So a 1 is bigger than a, we have an aught.
Yeah, this is quite a bit bigger.
Does a number 1 normally have 8 knees on it?
No, I think when you bought it, it probably came with 4.
Okay.
Okay, then if you wanted this has 2 15-foot sections put together.
The carriage.
Yeah, and what I did was we made that. That's I think it's 3 or 4 by 6, 3/8 thick box tubing. So there is no flex to it.
Look at the wheels.
See how many wheels hit and don't hit?
Yeah, well, you've got wheels every 2 feet.
That's how they came. Man, I played with shims on this for so long.
Holy sh! How big of a log can you handle here?
40 foot with no problem. I got 42 foot in between this span. That's channel steel beams up there holding all that in there. That was kind of a custom made, but it was a freebie.
Right.
It was, you know, in the old days they had in the high schools and stuff, they had partitions so you could have 2 classrooms into one.
Yep.
And then they put that wall, bring those things in together. So they threw those out from the school I was at, and I said, man, I'm gonna take them home. That was probably 10, 15 years before I even thought about that. I said, we can put those together and make so it's 42 foot in between. Now, if I come in here at an angle, I can stick it out that way and get a 50 footer in here. It's this track, this logway here and that logway there are all level, and I can fit the 544 rubber tire in between to load a big one on if I have to.
Right, right.
So that was the purpose of that.
So, and I missed this. This turn disengages your clutch here.
If you watch down there, watch see the clutch lever stick out.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. Operation. Because if you got a problem, you want to disengage it. What are you going to do?
You got to run over to the clutch.
And that's
well, there's the other thing.
I like
turn
that.
The noise box off. I still got to get the turn off lever up there, and then I was telling him this has a brake actuator on it, so I can also hit a brake to make it slow down even faster.
So where did this engine come from?
This came out of a dump truck up out of Buffalo, New York. I bought it. Oh my goodness, that was one of the first YouTubes I did. Now watch, I'll put it back into. See it come back.
Yep, yep.
Now what's nice about this as opposed to belts? Okay, when you have a belt, and you're a machinist, you know that kind of stuff. When this belt starts pulling because it's getting into a log, it's pulling.
Yeah, you can see the bottom end of it's slack.
So that means it's pulling. So does that mean the belt is stretching, or is it pulling this over to give it that slack?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, where this one here, there is no pull. It's straight. So it's you know.
So what you did though is you have your mandrel ends.
The mandrel ends back here.
Yeah. So this is this a new mandrel you just built?
Yeah. This one came out of Indiana.
Okay, you just built a mandrel with.
No, that's
the other one.
The other mill.
So how long is this mandrel? Is how long?
It's either 12. It might be 14 foot. I don't even know.
Holy jeez.
I got a backup one.
So the mandrel comes out here.
And we made that adapter right here.
Yep.
This is the adapter we made.
My God. Nicely done.
Jeffrey made that.
Yep, yep.
He's pretty good. And then we cut the drive shaft, and then comes through there.
Now, was this you found one of these things?
I bought 2 mills, so I have a bunch of those. I bought 2 #1 mills to put this one together.
Got it.
I realized after that little one in the back.
Yep.
That when I got this one, I wanted a #1. I wanted the tapered roller bearings on the axles because they give you headaches. You got
we do. Are some of them not tapered?
No, yeah, the one in the back's not tapered. It's got Hyatt bearings, and then before that, I think it was Babbitt bearings.
Okay.
Yeah, they're #1 is also, I don't know if you can get over there, has better adjustments on the back of it for setting them all straight. It's the only mill that you can identify #1 real quick by this setup because there's 3 of these on the back of it, a #1.
Okay.
Don't cut yourself on the blade.
No.
See, there's 3.
Yes, I do.
Nuts on the back of
We've
these.
got one on ours.
You got one on yours. So that was this was the see, this set works here. It's got a little bit of play in it. This one here was rebuilt. We could never get it to work right. This one's all rebuilt. See, it's got bronze bushing in there, bronze oil light bushing in there. Could never get it.
You could never get it.
Never get it to recede. I don't know why. This one here recedes, so I just got tired of screwing with it.
And you said this has some play in it? Oh yeah, a lot of play in it.
Yeah, there's.
I'm kidding.
No, there is.
When you look at ours is.
Where's the play?
Ours is so
the play
sloppy.
Is down in here. See it?
Yeah, but you restored these. You bought 2 and you restored it. So when bushings were worn, you put new ones in. Yeah, I mean I
didn't like the result.
No, well, and ours is worn out. Nope, I'm not complaining.
I think you can send them out to Fritco. You can send those yokes out to Fritco, and I don't know how much he charges to put the new ones in.
We don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, yeah, and once again, the bottom line is it probably isn't going to make any difference.
And I took your point. You're right, because we're cutting
you're cutting fence posts.
Yeah.
A cow doesn't care if
I know.
the board's
And
16th
barn boards and fence posts. We are cutting some nice wood, some walnut and some cherry.
But think
But they're
about that.
8-foot logs and they cut pretty good.
You cut, okay, and there's probably only 1 in 100 times that somebody's going to need an 8-foot walnut log. You could probably, but you don't want them shorter than 8 foot on the mill because it starts to get unsafe.
The only reason we've been cutting the 16-footers because Wayno wanted fence boards.
Right.
And I bring 17-foot logs for fence
Right.
boards. But other than that, nobody wants 16-foot wood.
No,
that I know of.
You just can't do anything with it.
Eric
What you gotta
does,
do
but
is
yeah.
cut it in half, and just about every cherry you get, you got to cut down to 6 foot because they go so crooked. So if you had a 10-foot cherry log and it's got a 3-inch bow in it, you've knocked
Well,
out 6
I was
inches
fortunate.
right off the
This
bat.
cherry I brought this year, and it was a 25-inch tree. It was a big cherry tree, and it was straight. But it was on the ground for years. But there was
They
very
don't
li-
rot.
they- yeah,
The center of them don't rot. The sapwood will rot off.
I might go back and get a couple more pieces of that this year because it's such nice wood.
One of the nicest logs I ever saw, some guy was clearing a lot down in Potomac, and had a thing in Craigslist that come get all you want. And this one log, all sorts of people went in there and took wood out of there.
Yeah.
There's this one 20-inch log there that had no bark. I mean, it looked terrible. It was disgusting. I said, "It's firewood. I don't care." I put it in there and I look at it, and I cut the end off of it. I go, "This is black walnut."
Oh.
Black walnut with all the sapwood had gone away.
Oh, no
rotted
kidding.
away. That was
But
one of the most beautiful woods.
The
Wow.
heartwood of the black walnut is rot resistant.
It seems to be very rot resistant.
How long have you been working on this mill?
I think 16 years now. Like I was telling you,
Yeah.
back when I had more energy,
Yeah.
more energy, and things were lighter back then.
Yes,
This little setup here rolls 250 pounds. I think this is 250 pounds. I
It's
know
big.
over
It's bigger.
200.
It's bigger than ours for sure.
Yeah.
It opens up. I
I think ours is
think.
supposed to be 150, so yeah.
Yeah, this thing, it's like the double lot one back here. You can pick it up and run with it. And I was thinking, oh yeah, okay, no problem. I latched on one of these and said, "Man, you got to be crazy." We went and loaded this thing up in New York. It was in a chicken coop up in New York.
Whereabouts in New York?
Way up in New York. I don't know. It's about a 6 or 8 hour drive. And the guy said he had a number 1 for sale. And I said, "Are you sure it's a number 1? Well, I think so. I said, "Well, measure this, measure this." "No, I can't get to it." I said, "All right, I'll drive up there." So I drove up to look at it. It was a number 1, and I bought it. But it only had a 15-foot carriage.
Right.
We loaded that out of a chicken coop by hand. No mechanical.
Was it upstate New York or western New York?
I got no idea. It was up
Yeah.
in New York.
So I'm from upstate New York. The guys I used to hang out with had
about
sawmill.
It was about 250 miles because
Yeah.
no, maybe further than that. No, it was further than that because I know I could get up there on a tank of gas and I hold 36 gallon, 10 miles to a gallon. So it was about 350 miles up in
Wow.
New York. So, but we got, but I wanted 2 more. I wanted it to be 20 foot long because of fence posts and
Yes.
stuff.
Yep.
Frick made them 15 foot for fence posts. In the mill in the back, I always ran into problems where the carriage was too short. So I said, well, I'm going to start. So I started looking around for 2 axles. Axles were $1,000 a piece.
Okay.
And I found another guy, I don't know, a month and a half later out in Jersey that had a number 1 for sale. And I said, I'll come over and look at it, make sure it's a number 1. And he got so frustrated with it, which I can relate to that, he practically gave the mill away. He didn't want
I see them for sale now. Junk rusted ones in the woods for $6,000-$7,000.
Yeah, and
It-
I've seen a few. There's one on eBay, but you want to watch. If I was getting a mill, I wouldn't get one with anything but tapered roller bearings.
Yeah.
Okay, because you can get rid of the play. Now, if you want on yours, if you have one wheel that maybe you dropped the log down on that one you got, and maybe you bent that C channel, permanently bent it.
I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can put shims under that. There's just 2 bolts that you take.
Well, we're
No,
we're
that's
talking about that. But the other thing too, I'm looking at this. This is box steel. This is all boxed in. Ours is not like this. Ours is
well, yeah, no.
ours is
this
C channel.
Not,
Ours
yeah,
is C
this
channel.
is not Frick, and that's what made.
Oh,
This is not a Frick carriage. This is a carriage we made.
that explains it. That's
We
why.
made this
So
carriage.
a whole lot less flex to this thing, and that's why
There's
the
no flex to this thing.
that's why the axles are so close together.
No, on a number 1,
Yeah.
on a 10-foot carriage, I'm pretty sure you had.
Wow.
No, on a 15-foot carriage, you had 6 axles.
Wow.
Where on yours, on a 15-foot carriage, you had
With
four axles.
axles, yeah.
So I bought that other mill, got it, and
You made your carriage. And you made these pieces here.
No, that's Frick.
That is Frick?
That's all Frick.
That's a lot of steel.
It's pretty heavy.
Oh,
I have to put all this stuff on there. I've run my head and skin scarred up my head so many times, but that's why I stopped this thing so you can't walk through. I put it back here, I'll walk through, I hit my head every time.
Is this quarter-inch steel?
Which part?
The carriage?
No, this is 3/8.
Okay.
That's 3/8 box.
That's
And then it's got cross members constantly.
3/8.
Yeah,
That's who built that for you?
we did it down Jeff's. There's a YouTube of it.
Okay, is there? Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty
somebody's
sure if there's not YouTubes, I got pictures and don't know how to
does
put
he
pictures on.
did he torch cut, plasma cut, or how do you do the steel cutting?
All the cutting on this was done in a band.
Bandsaw.
cut.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's nicely done.
Yeah, it was all done.
It's just
Jeffrey's top notch.
I get it. I saw
This
the
thing
video.
was set in his shop on 6 jack stands with screw adjusters.
Yes, yeah.
And it was all put in, and it was. He knows how. If you do something here, the reaction's down
He's
there.
a machinist.
So put one in, then you go down, you set it all up, and you check it all again.
Wow.
Check it with the transit, and it's not. Is it this or this? No, it's right on. And then weld it, and then go to another. And it took. I imagine it took a couple days to weld this thing up.
Oh, it took more couple. So
In the run from here to there, it's off a 32nd of an inch.
Wow. So the track, we have the front track next to the saw and the back track.
Okay.
And we're talking about this. Obviously, the way has got to be perfectly level, and your carriage is perfectly level with the mandrel on here.
Right.
But is this raised up a little bit than the flat part of the track normally?
I don't think they. What
Or
they always
it doesn't
did is
matter, maybe.
they raised the back up
Uh-huh.
because how Frick measures it is from the top of that ridge.
And that's what you were
And so
saying.
what they did is they made the way in the back 9/16 of an inch higher. But
Okay,
I think the bottom
okay.
line. I think the bottom line is this has got to be level.
The bottom line is this is what counts.
Yeah,
exactly.
this is what counts. You know, the saws, and well, even that doesn't really matter. If you have this off 10 degrees off, then the carriage got to be 10. It's just got to be
That's
matched.
right. That's right. That's right.
Because
That's right.
some of the new saws are set like this.
So this is a 48-inch blade.
No, that's a 56.
That's the same as ours.
This is 56.
Yeah, it's a 56. It looks kind of
It looks
small on
small
that
on
husk, doesn't it?
Nah, it's not a 50. Wow.
I got a tape out.
Wow.
I got a 60 down at Jeff's.
It looks small because it's such a big mill.
The husk is over 9 feet long. Or your husk is. I'd have to get you the statistics on yours. I got all the statistics up at the house.
Wow.
I got this runway. And here's my problem now, is how do you get the sawdust out of here? How do you get the sawdust out of here? Because of this walkway back here, I don't have but a foot of clearance here, so a chain would have to go out there 100 miles.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're kind of looking at that blower, maybe sucking it out. But the piece of hose to go from the blade to here
Yeah.
is $900. And I'm sitting there going, I'm going to have more money in the soup at sawdust.
So that's what your thought is with the blower to suck it out,
That's kind of what we're thinking.
or a
But-
leaf vacuum or something to move a lot of
well,
volume.
That's what that blower
Is it a
over
leaf
there
vacuum? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's got a 16-inch inlet. That's a 36-inch.
We're just talking about that because there's so much sawdust where we are, and we're shoveling and we're trying to do better.
You can't. It was a little messy around the Sawyer's.
Well,
spot.
thank you for saying that because you're the second one who's
But see, what I did-
mentioned that.
And I knew that was a problem back there. So
Yeah.
here I have the grate. So all that sawdust is going to go straight through, so it's not going to interfere.
Right.
And then there's also a grate down here that all the sawdust there will go through.
Yeah.
Because that is a continuing problem, is sawdust. And you don't want it under your feet while you saw it. You can clean it up later if you feel like it.
So you have angle iron going into.
Getting it out of there though.
I don't know.
You've got
Yet, so I don't know.
you've got angle iron going into the ground here in concrete.
No, that's I-beams.
I-beams. I mean into concrete.
Yes.
How big, are they footings?
Huh?
Just a post hole with a bag of concrete in it.
No, no, no. We had three trucks come in, 3 loads of
24 yards.
No, no, no. It was I think each time they brought in 3 to 4 yards.
So how big?
Holes are 18 inches in diameter.
Got it.
Okay,
And then you
cement
put
is the wad of cement is 3 feet thick, 3 foot.
Okay, so 18-inch holes, 36 inches down.
Right, now
and
we
you
don't
put your
have-
I-beams in that.
Yeah, we don't have, and the I-beams at the bottom have a cutout in them.
Yes, just to,
Well, we cut a U with a plasma cutter and then bend it over because then the cement goes through it.
Yes.
But if you just have the I-beam on the ground like that,
Yep.
then it's just gonna power through and
got
crush
it,
the cement.
Got it.
So that's how that is. And it's got the steel there holding that also. These I think are on 5 foot separations. Up here they're on 4 foot because that's where all the cracks are up there. That's where the pounding is.
So have you've,
No, you got just what, rubber to stop the vibrations? Looks like you got
No, those are
rubber
shims.
Rubber shims? Or are they
Well,
metal?
those are machinist shims.
Oh, okay.
In other words, first we
My glasses then. Oh, okay.
these all got leveled, and then
The-
after they got leveled,
the
then
black
they,
i- the black
then they
iron.
got a final thing, and those are all you buy them. I got some. down
yeah,
there.
McMaster.
in
Did you buy
McMaster.
them? Did you level it with a machinist level or a transit, or how did
Just a transit.
you use the transit? Okay.
Yeah. You know, once again.
I know. Well, I know. That's
Not
what
close
we're
to-
thinking. I know.
But I'll tell you what
They're
we
talking
did.
about a machinist level. I got machinist levels like
But what we
that's
did-
overkill.
What we did with the transit is, if you run a transit, we put a board at this end and a board at that end and a plastic tube that came all the way down with water, because when you shoot your transit, it can be off a little bit this way.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
And yeah, we're talking.
I see what you're saying,
Over
yeah.
80 foot here.
No, you're right.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
could be off a 1/4 inch and you'd never know it. So we shot it down there, leveled the transit to the watermarks on
Yep.
the
Yep.
on the
Okay.
board
Okay.
to make sure it was right
Yep,
there,
yep,
and then shot these every 2
Okay.
foot.
So when we do our string, we should think about something like that. It's a good idea to make sure we can use a
It wasn't
bubble level,
string,
but
it wasn't a string.
no, but we could.
It was a tube with water.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
That's level.
I get it. I get it. We need a tube with water, 100-foot tube with water in it.
Yeah, I just went to an aquarium store and got it.
See how they've joined the track together?
Yes, I did.
Now
As
yours
a-
should have
as
the
a-
joints like that too.
Well, it's got a
It doesn't have the
It's got single
all
bolts
thread.
on either side.
What do you mean? This is the way Frick did it here.
Yeah, no, not with ours.
You just got one in the middle?
No, we don't have any.
Don't have anything in the middle.
We got a single bolt coming through here to here.
Oh no. Well,
On
it
either
probably,
side.
There might be.
probably doesn't make any difference, but you
Well,
should
it'll
have the
allow-
whole. You
it'll
should.
allow to
Oh, now wait a second. You don't have the Frick. You don't have the Frick trackways. You have the channel, so that might very well be.
Right. We don't
Okay.
have this box.
When I was making
here.
this, when I was making all this is I think 3-inch box here,
Yes.
and then the reason it's different sizes is because I bought a great big lot thing in an auction and came in all different sizes. And it
Yeah.
was like,
You bought a bunch of steel.
oh my God, I bought a lot of steel.
Steel used to be inexpensive.
Yeah.
When I was learning how to weld,
This
I
is-
could buy a pickup truck load for $100.
Yep.
Now, $100 buys 2 pieces.
I know it. You're sitting there going, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I know. Wow. Nicely done.
All the Trex was thrown away from Carroll County public schools when they had the portables at back. When they would remove a portable, they weren't allowed to reuse any of that stuff.
Course,
And I
course.
talked to the contractor and I said, "What are you gonna do with that?" He says, "We just got to scrap it, got to throw it away." I said, "I'll take it." He brought it out the house. I have piles of it in the back. Piles of that.
He would have had to pay to get rid of it at the dump.
Yeah, and that's super thick stuff, so it saved him
Yeah.
some money. But I still put it on 12-inch
I see that.
centers, so I
Holy
should be able
jeepers.
to pull the Bobcat. See, this is going to get all filled up level here. This gets so because that's what all that dirt over there is. This is all getting
Okay.
filled up here, and I got another.
So you're going to fill up behind the 671
Yep,
with
all
more
the way
dirt,
from
level
the
that
bottom
off.
of that building there is where it goes to, and this will get all filled down here. And then I haven't figured out what I'm doing down here yet. I'm just winging. This was not a real good place to put a sawmill, really. It was not the best location because the angles just weren't right.
Oh, for the ground, you mean? Yeah.
But it's kind of what I had. I didn't want to be having it in the. I didn't have any place to put it in the back, and then you got to get over the creek with a 40-foot log would have been. There's a creek over there,
Yeah.
so that would have been
Yeah.
a nightmare. So I just said, well, we'll put it here, and that's the way it is.
Nicely done. Nice property. And how far back do you go from here?
The other mill's probably a 1/4 mile that way.
Jeez.
Maybe not a. Maybe
Oh, I
not-
see it. I see.
You can see
something.
Well, there's another building there. See, I'm a hoarder pack rat. That's why I needed a sawmill. I couldn't afford the building, but I could afford sawing the wood. So every time I filled one up, I'd build another one, build another building.
That's funny.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for the first video of our field trip to Fricknjeeps Sawmill in Mount Airey, Maryland. Thank you, John, again so much for hosting us and letting us come out and teaching us some very valuable lessons. We really appreciate it. We're going to have a few more videos of some other stuff we saw up there, his saws and stuff like that. So stay tuned. Please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and you guys all have a great day.